Holy mackerel! Hi, everybody, and welcome to Holy Mackerel Moments with Harry Hart-Browne. That is me. And this is episode number
1, 2, 3, 4.
For first-time viewers, Holy Mackerel Moments is devoted to those amazing little moments in life that just make us want to say,
Holy mackerel.
And this is a special Death Myth edition. Is death real, or is it a myth? Is it a death myth? I know, it sounds like I'm lisping, doesn't it? I got that from on Golden Pond.
What should I call your wife?
About Ethel. That's her name. Ethel Thayer. Sounds like I'm lisping, doesn't it?
But first, a thank you and an invitation. I want to thank everyone who has commented on YouTube. They are so wonderful, and they help encourage me, and they give me the oomph to keep going with this thing. And I want to thank those who have subscribed. It's also very helpful. A friend of mine said, how much does it cost? It doesn't cost a penny. You just hit the thing, the red thing that says subscribe, and it doesn't change your life at all, but it changes mine, because when you do it, it helps the channel to grow. So thank you for that. And an invitation. I want to encourage you to share your Holy Mackerel moments, whether it's with me, email me at the address below, or with each other. I understand some people are hesitant and they think, oh, I don't know, but I contend that if you find a slightly unusual experience just a little bit fascinating, and you have the chutzpah to share it, chances are, well, you could get a response like this. But you could also get a response like this. Interesting. You know, I had an experience kind of like that once. And then you talk about it. And when you talk about it and emphasize those moments, you experience more of them. Because they say what you focus on expands. So what does that mean? More moments of magic in everyday life? I'm okay with that.
Cool.
Yeah, way cool.
Have to believe we are magic.
Have to. So if you have an impulse to share, I say just have at it. You can do it. Just say to yourself,
I believe in you.
yes. And of course, having said that, I totally understand being hesitant. I mean, look at me. I'm a perfect example. I'm clearly very shy myself. Obviously. I'm painfully shy. Honest.
I've always been shy. I confess that I'm shy.
All right. Now on to death. Of course, there are many words, many terms for death. There's die. There's pass. Pass over. Passover? No, pass away. God. Pass away. Cross over. Make your transition. Buy the farm. Meet your maker. Meet St. Peter at the pearly gates.
You wouldn't be St. Peter, would you? Oh, no. I'm just a regular angel here.
There's pushing up daisies. There's croak. And one of my all-time favorites. So when we kick the bucket, is that it? We're dead? That's it? We're just a body? That's it?
Would you like to see the body?
No, thank you.
Well, some people believe once you're dead, you are dead.
You would be forever dead.
I wonder, when we die, are we dead?
He's dead! He's dead!
Or are we alive?
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Are we alive when we're dead? You must have heard the stories of people on an operating table and they whoosh up out of their bodies and can look down and see their bodies. And they look up and see a tunnel and this light at the end of it.
Is there a bright, beautiful light at the end of the tunnel?
Yes.
And they feel the love. They feel the overwhelming sense of peace. They think, here's where I belong. Here's where I want to stay. And then, of course, there's a voice that says, it's not your time yet. Get back in your body. And they go back in. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Some people believe if you've lived a good life and are a kind person, you go to a special place.
I'm in heaven.
If heaven is a place where you know only joy.
You're creating an entire world here from your imagination, from anything you want.
There are many theories about what the afterlife might be like.
When this life experience is over, all the energies in a person's aura surround his soul and move his soul up the silver cord to the next realm of consciousness, which is called Summerland and is just a marvelous place.
Summerland sounds nice. And there are people who believe that if you have not been a nice person...
Do you know whether we could go after death?
They go to hell.
And what is hell?
A pit full of fire.
And should you like to fall into that pit and be burning there forever?
No, sir.
Then what must you do to avoid it?
I must keep in good health and not die.
Ha! That's the ticket, just don't die. Of course, some people believe you live on and then you come back.
That would be reincarnation.
Welcome to the Past Lives Pavilion.
He came back as Christopher Columbus. I was Isabella at the time.
But regardless of what does or doesn't happen after death, the fact remains that when we lose those we love, it's very painful.
Oh, honey, are you okay?
I'm fine.
But we're not fine.
Goodbye, old friend. My old friend.
All kinds of friends. Don't get me started on the animals. Just last week, a friend of mine said, "Harry, I cried harder when my cat died than when my parents did." Are they really gone?
Do you remember when we went to the seashore a few summers ago? We used to sit on the beach and watch the ships go sailing out over the horizon. Yeah. And remember how they go further and further away till finally they disappeared completely? Yeah. But even though we couldn't see them anymore, we knew they were there, didn't we? Sure. Well, that's like life, Bill. There comes a time when our friends have to leave us. And like those ships, even though we can't see them anymore, they're still there.
They're still there. Is it possible to keep living? One might ask, is it possible to die? Einstein didn't think so. He said everything is energy, and energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only change from one form into another. Thing is, though, when people die, the form they change into is largely invisible to us. It's like a cosmic disappearing act.
Hocus pocus, lo and behold, you get blinded by that moon of bright gold above. That's love.
She disappeared in that song, but then she came back again. Do they come back again?
But he'll come back to you again.
You must have heard stories or even experienced moments where you feel their presence, or you think you hear their voice, or you see something. Out of the corner of your eye, you smell their fragrance. You have a dream that is so vivid it seems more like a visit. Lights go on by themselves, signs everywhere, and yet too often we don't believe our own senses. We go, no, it's too good to be true. I must have imagined it. And yet we try to connect with them in all kinds of ways.
Ethel to Tilly. Ethel to Tilly.
Actually, a friend of mine asked me once if I knew a medium. She wanted to contact her brother, and I didn't know any, and I'm not one, but just for fun, I took a deep breath and shut my eyes. I immediately saw the face of a collie dog. I said, I didn't see your brother, but I saw a dog. She said, what kind? I said, a collie. She said, my brother had a Sheltie. I said, what's a Sheltie? She said, a miniature collie. Then I saw a figure kind of cartwheel into the room and go, ta-da! I'm here, now what do we do? And I laughed. He was kind of saying, I've never done this either. How do we do this kind of thing? And he was wearing a black shirt and black pants. And I told my friend. She said, my brother always wore black. and he was very close to his Sheltie. I didn't know her brother. I didn't know he had a Sheltie. I did not know he wore black. Holy mackerel? Holy mackerel. I think it is a death myth.
Death is a fiction.
And I think our loved ones want so much to reassure us.
I'll always be near you.
After my sister died, I went through this complicated meditation trying to reach her, visualizing the red energy coming from my root chakra down to the center of the earth, while the white energy came through my crown chakra. And it was so convoluted, it felt like algebra. And while I'm doing all that, I feel this presence to the side of me laughing. Is that you? It was her. She said, I'm standing right here. You don't have to do a meditation. I'm right here. And I knew she was. I went, oh, what's it like? She said, it's great. I'm being gently guided from one point of focus to another. Like right now, I've been brought to you. And we'll have our time together, and then I'll be gently taken to some other adventure. It's really fun. It's really easy. I thought, this is real. She's still here.
I'm still here.
After my mother died, I had a very vivid dream about her, and then I got sad because I could feel myself starting to wake up. I said, I'm about to wake up and you're going to be gone. She said, I won't be gone. I said, well, to me you will be. And she went, oh, and she held my hand. And then I did wake up, and I could feel the pressure of the pillow against my cheek. But at the same time, I could still feel the pressure of her hand squeezing mine.
We're here.
My dear friend Richard Buller had a horrible ordeal with his parents. He lived at home with his brother and his parents, first his mother in home hospice for a long time. A few years after that, his father, the same thing. But Richard always got strength from Saint Thérèse of Lisieux. Now, he's not Catholic, but the moment he heard about this saint, he felt an instant affinity with her, and he felt support and strength from her. She was a precocious child who was determined and stubborn, but they say her bubbling laughter could make a gargoyle smile. And when she died at the tender age of 24, she said, I will go to heaven and I will send forth showers of roses because I want to spend my heaven doing good on earth. And Richard has been the beneficiary of her and the roses constantly, often when he least expected it, but most needed it.
Oh, this is very exciting. Your beautiful roses have just arrived.
One day, for example, Richard was in the copy shop. He lifted the lid of the machine. There was a picture of St. Therese. Well, one day he bought a murder mystery paperback at the thrift shop. Got home. There was a St. Therese bookmark in it. One time his mother bought a CD of songs of the 50s, and in that CD there was a song, Saint Teresa of the Roses. He sent 2 photographs to Johnny Mathis to have autographed. Johnny returned both photographs unsigned, but he included a 3rd photograph. My love for you. Hours after Richard sent me that photograph, I got this in my email inbox from my artist friend Susan Rios. Red roses too. They're all over the place. When his dad was bedridden, he would ring a bell to say, I need help. And after he passed away, Richard continued to hear the bell. And he knew it was a sign. And one day he said to his brother Marshall, I keep hearing a bell ringing. And Marshall said, I do too. Richard said, oh, you hear it too? It's Dad's spirit. Marshall said, no, it's not. It's the ice cream truck. It was the ice cream truck. 6 days after Richard's father passed away, Richard looked out the window and saw a figure in the backyard striding across the patio with great energy and confidence, practically hopscotching. And then it disappeared. Richard knew it was his dad saying, I'm doing great. And from that moment on, Richard knew his father was no longer like this, but more like this. Holy mackerel. And since then, he's gotten so much support from both his parents, from St. Thérèse, from the roses, and he knows
somebody up there likes me.
Richard wrote a wonderful book about film star Lois Moran called A Beautiful Fairy Tale, and it is entrancing. I'll put the link below. I learned so much about early Hollywood and theater and F. Scott Fitzgerald. Good job, Richard. Richard's a strong man and a good one. I hope when I disappear, if there's anyone who misses me, I hope I'll be able to reach them. And in my own hesitant, shy kind of way, I hope I'll be able to let them know that I'm still here. Thanks for watching. See you next time.